Welcome to Pick Up and Deliver, the podcast where I pick up my audio recorder as I step out of the house and deliver an episode to you while I walk to the library. I'm Brendan Riley. Well, good morning, listeners. It's a lovely day here in suburban Chicago. It's in the mid to late high 40s, but there's almost no breeze, so it feels pretty comfortable. I'm taking a walk up to the library to return a couple movies before I sit down and go heads down into my desk for work for the day. I'm so glad to be out stretching my legs a little bit. So I thought I'd take a moment to talk about a couple games I've played recently. This is an episode of Board Game Espresso, Triple Shot. Glug, glug, glug. Today, for those of you new to the podcast, Board Game Espresso is a episode where I quickly, hence the espresso, hence I quickly talk about 3 games that I've played recently and one I dusted off, giving you sort of first impressions or renewed impressions of those games. These are not reviews per se. I generally haven't played the game enough to feel like it's a review. Occasionally I'll do something called Message from the Deep, which is a more thorough review type discussion of a game that I've played many times, as opposed to most of these games are once or twice played. So let's just jump right in. The first game I want to talk about is Revive. Now, this is a game you've heard about a lot on the podcast because I've talked about it a lot, and I think that I have told you the story of my challenging journey to try to get Revive played. If I hadn't, I'm going to now. Revive is a game I've wanted for a while. It's by one of my more recent rising favorite designers, Christian Amund Ostby and Eilif Svensson. I think there are other designers on that as well. You always have Helge Meissner and Anna Wormlund, so it's 4 of them. But Christian Amund Ostby and Eilif Svensson are the 2 whose work I know better. So this is a game I've wanted to play for a while. It's published by Aporta Games. Came out at Essen last year and was hard to get a hold of. I was able to get it in September, I think. And I've been wanting to play it, or no, I got it at Gen Con. I've been wanting to play it since then. And the first time I tried to play it, I overscheduled. I told one friend, hey, you want to play this with me? And he said, yeah, can I bring a friend? I said, sounds great. And then later I forgot that he said he was bringing a friend. So I had another friend who said he wanted to play and asked if he could bring a friend. And I said, sure. So we got there in the 4-player game. There were 5 of us waiting to play. And as the host and the person who screwed up the numbers, I said, why don't you 4, I'll teach you 4 to play and you have a good time and I'll try it later. I tried it a couple weeks later and forgot an essential rule. So the first time I played, we played with one of the rules completely wrong. So our scores didn't count. We still had a good time and got most of the mechanisms right, but it still didn't feel like a real play. Finally, I did get a chance to play it, so I can talk about Revive. Revive is a really interesting game. You have a number of different actions you can take that involve system management, where you have a hand of cards that you're spending to get resources, and you can augment those resources with other cards that you can get that will make that resource gathering process better. There's also different kinds of upgrades you can get moving along a variety of different tech trees that are hidden as different kinds of tracks or different kinds of displays. And basically, as you make progress, you amplify your ability to do well in the different things. It's really fun. I like the arc of the different pieces. Very hard. I did really poorly, like a third of the points of the person who won. But I had a great time playing. So that's Revive. Definitely worth checking out. I think I'm going to pick up the expansion when I have a chance. That it won't be for a while, I imagine, but I'm looking forward to that. Really, really nice components. It comes with a 3-layer or 2 or 3 layer board for each of the players. You have a whole bunch of different little wooden discs and cubes and stuff that are just a delight and make for a really fun time moving bits around. It is pretty complicated. It is the kind of game that is fun because it's complicated. So that's Revive. Next up is a game I've only played on Board Game Arena, but I played it a couple times and I feel like I got the gist of it, and it makes me glad for my instinct. This is a game called Astra. Astra is a roll and write game. Well, I think it's a roll and write when you're playing it in real person. I guess it could use like little colored gems, but whatever. It's a card game from Mind Clash Games that's about observing constellations. And the idea is that you are taking turns trying to add observations to the stars by drawing these constellations out. And when a constellation is finished, the person who finishes it collects it into their display, and everybody else who contributed to it gets a bonus from the card. So you have this like pattern of wanting to help some constellations, but you don't want to get them all because one, you can't store them all, but two, you need the bonuses that they give you to power your engine to do more observations and more things. There's some point scoring involved as well. It is a sort of a set collection resource management game built around this idea of stars. Narratively, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't really understand how you and I would discover a constellation together by me pointing out 2 stars and you pointing out 2 stars. It's a weird notion that I don't think works in terms of the theme. I like the system of if you contribute, you get a bonus. If you took it, you get the points for it. That's a neat thing that I might steal at some point because I haven't seen it done a lot. Although you could kind of argue that Furnace does that with its auctions, where if you win the auction, you get the card, and if you lose the auction, you get resources. So it's not like this is unheard of, but it's certainly different enough from most everything else that I've played that I feel like I couldn't directly say, oh yeah, this is just like that other thing I've played. The presentation on Board Game Arena is really nice. It works really well. It's smooth. It's fun to play asynchronously, and yeah, it's just pretty enjoyable. The game is designed by Patrick Porkolab, Frigyes Skolberg, and Esther Christina Sass. It was published by Mind Clash Games last year. That's Astra, available on Board Game Arena if you want to give it a try. I did have a revisited game that I want to talk to now, a dusted off game. As a reminder, a game gets dusty if it's been unplayed for a year or more. So if you have a game that you played more than a year ago, it is metaphorically dusty, and so you can dust it off to play it. One of the oldest games that I've ever dusted off, where I knew the specific date that I played it last, is Gloom. Gloom is a classic game from Atlas Games that's published on these clear cards, and in the game you're telling a story of a doomed family, sort of a Addams Family ripoff, and the idea is that you are trying to tell the horrible story of what happened to this family with the idea that you will guide them through this misery into their final resting space, and they'll die. It's dark, but it's pretty fun. It's played on clear cards, which if you've played more recent games like Mystic Vale or Canvas, these use clear cards in much the same way, where there are elements on the cards, and when you overlap them onto other cards, then those elements get covered up, and when the character dies, the things that are showing uncovered in the card is what you're trying to see. All in all, Gloom is a good time. It is really cutthroat. I'd forgotten how mean it was. I guess because probably when we were playing it before, we didn't have non-mean games. I didn't have cooperative games. I didn't have so many Euros. I was not used to games that weren't just direct competition and like screwing each other over. Gloom is very much that. And I found I don't have a real strong taste for that anymore. I mean, it's kind of fun if you know going in that's what it is. That's fine. But ultimately, it wasn't my favorite aspect of the gameplay. I do like the storytelling that comes out of the different hilariously named cards and the characters as you see them dying. It's pretty funny. And from that perspective, I really enjoyed it. If you've never played Gloom before, it's probably worth checking out. I do also own Cthulhu Gloom, which I think is just another edition of Gloom with different families on the art and different names on the trauma cards. I haven't investigated enough to check how closely they overlap. In terms of Gloom, it has been a very long time since I played it, over 8 years. If you listen to the Top of the Stack episode from October, I'll tell you exactly how long it's been, but it was over 8 years, but I did remember the exact last time I played it, which is a kind of fun twist to be able to say like, hey, here's a game I played 8 years ago and I returned to it. Also still in my collection, so that's kind of fun. It's moved with me multiple times, because I definitely owned it when I lived in Florida. Oh no, I couldn't have it since it came out in 2005. So I got it sometime after we moved to Illinois. But then it definitely moved with me to the new house and moved again to the house we're in now. So that's Gloom, designed by Keith Baker from Atlas Games. Finally, the last game I'm going to point to is a little puff of a game. This is a game designed by Antoine Bauza of Seven Wonders fame and Ghost Stories and many other games. I came across this because it was recommended on the So Very Wrong About Games podcast, which is one of my favorites these days. The hosts are irascible and earnest and funny. And when they recommend, there's certain kinds of games that when they recommend them with enthusiasm, I'm happy to pick them up. And Paku Paku is one such game. Paku Paku is themed around the idea of it's a feast of panda bears trying to eat the most food. And the way it works is there's 5 dice, and you start with them sort of spread out evenly among the players. And it's a real-time frantic dice rolling game, so you roll the die. If you roll one of the sides that has numbers, which there's, I think, 3 sides that have numbers, then you re-roll it. If you roll one of the sides that has the red food or red plate icon, then you're going to put a plate in the middle of the table. They have these tiny little plastic plates. And then if you roll the green panda icon, then you pass the die to the person on your left. The round ends when someone knocks over the stack of plates, or when somebody has a certain number of dice in front of them, depending how many players are playing. If you're in a small group, once you have 5 dice in front of you, then game's over. If you're in a bigger group, it's 3 dice. So it's frantic and silly and entirely luck-based, but boy, it's a good time. It's not real deep, but it's been a pretty good success with most of the groups I've shown it to. I did show it to my friends at my Columbia College Board Games Society meeting, and it was thoroughly enjoyed there. Everybody had a good time. So that's Paku Paku from Antoine Bauza and published by Ravensburger. Well, that's about it for my games that I wanted to talk about. I'm really happy to tell you about Revive and have gotten that played, and the other games as well. So what have you been playing lately? What have you tried out? What new games have drifted across your transom? Head over to Board Game Geek Guild 3269 and share your experiences there. Join the conversation, as they say. You can reach out to me, Brendan, at rattleboxgames.com, or send me a direct message on Board Game Geek. Wombat929 is my username there. I also maintain gameplays on Board Game Arena and yukata.de. You can reach me there. Wombat929 is my username in both those spaces. I'm happy to play a game with you. If you like, send me an invite. Well, that's about it for me today. I hope your next walk is as pleasant as mine was. Bye-bye.
Brought to you by Rattlebox Games.